Hello, this is a video going over using number line to solve multiplication. Before introducing this strategy, I wanted to go over how learning multiplication is a little different from how current adults learned it to how it's taught now. I think a lot of us remember memorizing the multiplication facts and taking those timed quizzes. Those timed quizzes were actually used to test our facts fluency, which is the ability to remember math facts quickly. Memorizing the multiplication facts is helpful, but the current math standards for third grade students is to have a strong understanding of what they are doing in multiplication and why they are doing that. So before we have those students memorize those multiplication facts, we want them to understand why they're using the numbers the way that they are. When students are presented with multiplication problems, they need to analyze and think critically about the numbers and how they are related. We start with concrete concepts, which is moving objects around to create groups and arrays, to pictorial representations, which is when they draw arrays and groups, and then move on to the abstract models, which is number lines and other strategies that they learn throughout the year. Modeling multiplication is the way that students show their work. There are multiple ways to model multiplication, which is like equal groups, arrays, skip counting, and number line jumps. In this example of equal groups, we're using the GET strategy to show our work. The GET strategy stands for groups, how much in each group, and the total or product. In this equation, we would need two groups since our first number is 2. We would need to have 6 dots in each group since that's our second number, and our total is 12, since if we counted up all the dots, we would get that answer. For arrays, using the same equation, we would need 2 rows, so there are 2 lines drawn. Each row needs 6 hearts in each row, and the total or product is 12. For skip counting, we're going to be skip counting with the same equation, so we would need 2 times to skip count. So we have 2 lines drawn, so we remember. And each skip count is going to be worth 6. And our total or product is 12. Skip counting is actually connected with multiplication on the number line and is really helpful for students. When we use the number line for multiplying, we use the JET strategy. It's similar to that GET strategy that was mentioned earlier, but instead of G, we use the J, which stands for jumps. And that's the number of jumps that needs to be made. The E in JET is what each jump is worth, so the value of each jump. When we label the jumps, we always put a plus sign and the number, so that way we can look back and remember what we're skip counting by when we try to find our answer. The T stays the same and stands for total or product. And the amount where your final jump lands on is your answer. So here we have the example 2 times 5. On the number line, we'll be making 2 jumps, and each jump will be worth 5. On the number line, here is what an example would look like. We have our 2 jumps, and each jump is worth 5 with its label on top. So like using the skip counting, we would land at 5, and then add 5 more and we get 10. So our answer is 10, or the product. On this next example, we have 7 times 2. We'll be making 7 jumps on the number line, and each jump is worth 2. So here on the number line, we have our 7 jumps, and each one is labeled with plus 2. And if we look down at the number line, we see that each place where the jump lands is labeled. So using that skip counting, we would doing jumps of 2. We go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So our answer, or the product Our total is 14. So that is how we do the number line for multiplication. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Have a nice day.